What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Zay coming back with another video. You know what I'm saying? How everybody feeling today? You know what I'm saying? Let me know down in the comments. Y'all, today y'all finna do another reaction, man. I know y'all remember Tay K. He been locked up since like 2017, 2018. You know what I'm saying? For a murder case. You know what I'm saying? But they saying that you know what I'm saying, he was guilty. And yeah, he's facing over like 100 years, I think. But you know what I'm saying? We about to do this reaction, man. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe button. Let's get to the video. Shout out to Poetic Flacco, you know what I'm saying, for the video.
Today is the happiest day in hip-hop history because the saga that is the spawn of Satan Tay K is finally over, bro. They overcooked them like some ramen, bro. I wasn't surprised for one. I mean, look at him. Look at him, bro. You can't tell me you've ever seen this archetype do anything productive. And I'm not talking about color. I'm talking about the archetype. He looks like he's an evil villain in a Nickelodeon movie, bruh. He's the kid in the Nickelodeon movie that provoked reactions like, God darn you little twerp. Yeah, but he was far from a little twerp or anything innocent. He was originally arrested for 2 homicides.
17-year-old Tamor McIntyre has been arrested in New Jersey by the U.S. Marshal Service. He's been being held there pending his extradition back here to Texas. McIntyre, who's from Arlington, is suspected in a capital murder case and had been described as a violent fugitive. He's been the subject of a nationwide manhunt. New at 6, video of teen rapper Tay K as police question him about his role in a deadly home invasion in Mansfield. The video was shown to the jury this afternoon in Tamor McIntyre's capital murder trial. Jason Allen is live inside the Tim Curry Criminal Justice Center in Fort Worth with the details. Jason?
And Gilma, the doors of the court are just cracking open here behind me. It looks like they have just finished up for the evening. The jury today, not only in that video, heard Tamor McIntyre admit to being part of this crime when it happened, they also heard from a man who was shot that night and survived.
This video from almost 3 years ago shows a 16-year-old Tamor McIntyre in a small room with police, uncomfortable, wiping his eyes at times, and finally admitting to investigators he played a role in a home invasion and murder in Mansfield.
This dude is just deplorable on all levels. He went out completely sad. To regular people, he's deplorable because he's a murderer. And to the street dudes, he's deplorable because he's a rat. He told, right? But when he got arrested, he tried to play the I was just a kid officer. I was just a part of the home invasion that led to a murder. I don't know what I was doing. I was scared. And then he told him everybody involved. And then the officers realized, you aren't just a kid involved in this. You aren't just some type of innocent dude. No, because we got you on camera committing another homicide. This time you were the shooter.
He was excited. His passion was photography. His passion was taking photographs and wanted to make that his career. He was young. He was just 20 years old. Tamor McIntyre was almost 17 years old. He was an up-and-coming rapper that contacted Mark about this photo shoot. And when Tamor came over to pick up Mark from his house, at his mother's house, Mark went outside with his backpack and his camera, very definable white type camera, ran off to this car down the street, a black Kia. Little did he know he was getting into that car, and then we'd be falling off that car later on, shot by this individual that's sitting right over there.
They had ballistics, they had surveillance, they had 4K surveillance. The girlfriend who was there with Tay K, she testified. Overcooked, guilty. And eventually he was found guilty. But it's the post-conviction antics that's tickling my fancy, all right? These people are literally insane. So, first off, at the guilty verdict, right, his family initially thought that he got off scotch-free, and they began to make noise thanking Jesus in the court of law before hearing out the full judgment.
All right, it's the court's understanding from the deputy that a verdict has been reached in this case. This is what I'm going to tell all the parties who are present in this courtroom. There's not to be any outbursts, If there's an outburst, what's going to end up happening is a deputy is going to tap you on the shoulder. There's no need to get into a conversation with the deputy. That tap on...
And man, I know he regret that now. You know what I'm saying? He probably like 20-something now. I know he regrets that. You know, he was young at the time, but that still don't give you the right to do that at all. But I know he regret that, for sure. I know he do.
Shoulders, meaning that you are to leave this courtroom and you will only be allowed back in this courtroom if you're going to be a witness. Does everyone understand?
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone who cannot do that? So, both parties for the state and the defense, if you need to talk to members who are currently in court that are either with the state or defense, you may do so now. Otherwise, I'm going to bring the jury in.
I think everyone knows to be on their best behavior, Your Honor.
All right, let's bring the jurors in.
All right, for the jury.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's my understanding that you've reached a verdict in this case. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that verdict unanimous?
Yes.
All right, if you will give the verdict form to Deputy Laura, please. Thank you. All right, if the defendant could please stand. We, the jury, find the defendant, Tamar McIntyre, not guilty of the offense of capital murder. Excuse me.
Damn, and they was excited too. Man, it's sad though, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? He took somebody's life, man. You know what I'm saying? I know he regret that, man. You know? But man, that's sad though, bro. Like the whole situation is just sad. That's why I say y'all think before y'all do. You know what I'm saying? For real, man. Like stay out of the trouble, stay out the way. You know what I'm saying? Go to work, get your money. Cause this right here, it ain't worth it at all.
No. No, out of the courtroom. Out of the courtroom now.
Yes.
That was TK's family making that noise and that hoopla. They thought for a second that God's favor was shining upon this spawn of Satan when that's the furthest thing from the truth. They were celebrating too early. Now, I don't know if nobody told them, but there's actually two charges, capital murder and regular murder. So capital murder has a lot of aggravating factors. You can look it up. Murder is clear cut, okay? So TK gets found not guilty of capital murder, which means he's not going to get the death penalty, which is, I mean, to be honest, I think that's like an easy let out, bro. I want somebody to spend 100 years in jail. I don't want them to take the easy way out. So he eventually gets found guilty of actual murder because he did it. It's in 4K. There's no doubt that.
And it's sad, man. I never wish bad on nobody, man. I never be happy for somebody's downfall. I will never do that, man. Why y'all think before y'all do?
TK did this. And the fact that his family is celebrating this, which, I mean, yeah, that's your family, cool, but you have to love people to an extent. You have to love people to a degree. Knowing this person did this and still celebrating, thinking he got off, to me is just insane. And this is the madness that permeates through our communities that creates villains like TK.
Sometimes As you can tell, people are invested.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie though. I know y'all probably gonna get mad at me, you know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-whoop, y'all probably gonna get mad. But I feel as if, you know what I'm saying, people change. People's hearts change, their mind change. You know what I mean? And you can't say that's the same person that he was 10 years ago.
Correct? So it says, we the jury find the defendant Tamar McIntyre not guilty of the offense of capital murder as charged in the indictment. We the jury find the defendant Tamar McIntyre guilty of the lesser included offense of murder. Does anyone wish to have the jury polled?
Not the state, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and do you want them polled as to both counts?
As to the count of conviction, Your Honor.
All right, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you if...
Let's look at the face of Tay-K here. And if you are not watching the video, you're watching the audio, I will break it down for you, bruh. This is the face of where bad decisions get you. He's sulking. He's staring into space, looking expressionless. Face is blank. He understands he done messed up his life. I can't even begin to imagine sitting in a court of law.
I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna laugh at nobody's downfall. That's just not my type. I'm not that type of person. Like I said, man, you know what I mean? That was the video, man. You know what I'm saying? It was sad on both ends. It's sad regardless. All of it's sad. Him doing that, you know, the people that passed away, it's all sad, man. You know what I mean? That's why I say y'all think before y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, y'all. Put God first. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying? Just put God first, y'all. We're getting that Bible, y'all. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, it's your boy Zay, man. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. Catch you on the next video.